Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Roam with Romy, where I talk about love, life, and culture, one adventure at a time. Today's video is going to be a reaction video. Y'all know I used to like to do those kind of things. I had started out doing little reactions here and there, but I think I'm going to add commentary to my arsenal of videos. Before we start this video, I'm going to take the opportunity to talk about our Discord channel. And for those of you who are subscribed to this channel, this is definitely a wonderful treat and a community that you want to join on this Discord, which is called Abracadabra Connect. It's connected to my channel, and we talk about things that we can't talk about on YouTube. And that includes relationships, that includes, different topics, life, love, all of those things. And in between, we even talk about movies, travel, this, that, and the third. So if you're interested in joining a community where you have like-minded individuals who love to connect, then definitely join our Abracadabra Connect network. And it's on Discord. I have put the link in the description box below. I would highly recommend that you guys join it, only because, it'll be a way for us to connect with each other, especially in these times, y'all, especially in these times. So please join if you can, and it's for free. You don't have to pay anything to join. So just wanted to put that out there. Now let's start this video. Before I start this commentary, I'd like to give a quick disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. I am not here to drag anybody, though I may say a lot of strong words. That's okay. It's all in love. And y'all, please do not write anything offensive in the comments, okay? Because we're all here to learn and to grow, okay? So some people, when they do things, people make mistakes, and that's okay. We learn from them and we move on. Okay, we listen and we don't judge, all right? So I want to make sure that we're on one accord before I start this video. Now, the video that I'm going to be reacting to is from this Korean YouTube channel called Gido. I will be reacting to this video. It's titled 6 Black Girls versus 1 Korean Guy, Finding My Ideal Type at Once. Y'all, they have a lot of videos like this. I think they have one with a Turkish girl who selected Korean men. I don't know. If y'all want, I could just do a whole breakdown on the differences between the two videos as well, and how Black women are treated on the channel versus other races of women, especially when it comes to dating in Korea and so on and so forth. Now, this video, I must warn y'all, there's a lot going on, okay? There's a lot going on. So again, we listen and we don't judge. And shout out to the beautiful women that were in this video. I really liked how they conducted themselves. So shout out to them. Let's get into this video, and I'm going to kind of highlight my experiences in Korea and also what I think went right and wrong in this video. A lot more wrong than right. And what you can do if you're interested in dating someone from another culture, especially a Korean person. Right out the gate, y'all, right out the gate, we meet Gido, who is 27 years old, and he's at the prime age for marriage in Korea. That's usually when people start to get married. They usually get married right out of university, and especially for men because they have to do the military service. So usually they're a little bit later to get married. So it's usually around that age, like 27 and onward, that they'll start trying to settle down and look for a wife. So first thing, right out the gate, he said that he had never met a Black person before. Now, that is not necessarily a red flag, and I'll tell you guys why. It is because he never had the opportunity to. Now, what I will say is that my husband didn't really get a chance to meet Black people until he moved to New Zealand, and he befriended a man from New Zealand who was of Jamaican descent. And that was his first real friendship with a Black person. And obviously he's married to me now. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that this person has like a fetish or will play around with you. So I will say that. I think it's all about opportunity and proximity. So I would say, for me, in my personal opinion, in my experience, a person from a homogenous country never meeting a person of your skin tone and skin color is not necessarily alarming, especially if you're a Black woman. One, because Black people have recently started to travel and live around the world. I would say within the past decade or so. probably the past 20-30 years. Like, we've always traveled, don't get me wrong, because I want people coming in the comments say we always been traveling. Okay, it used to be reserved only for people who had money. Let's just keep it real. Now that travel is more affordable, and you know, there are a lot of expats out there, and we're being welcomed in different countries, I think now the experience is a lot different, and it gives you the opportunity to meet people, especially black people, abroad. And in Korea, there are not a lot of black people. It's growing, but there's not a lot. I could literally go weeks without seeing another black person, for real, for real. I'm being honest with y'all, especially when you live outside of Seoul. Notice, y'all, how he said cultural difference. This is why I promote my channel so much, and why I go so hard about intercultural relationships and interracial relationships. The first thing he said was, I never met a black person, and the cultural difference concerns me. Now, this is the thing. He probably, because he never met a black person, he's probably going off of media stereotypes. And so that's a whole nother conversation we're going to have in this series. This is not something that's abnormal. Especially when you're meeting someone from a different culture, they will have an image of what they think you are like. And he already at the gate has his guard up, thinking that there's going to be a cultural difference. So he already has this negative perception of black women. So we'll see. Now, I don't know if he was paid to do this or something, or maybe they just giggle, you needed content. It seems to me like this was just for content. I don't know. That's the vibe I'm getting already, because he already is starting negative, and that already is alarming. But let's continue for the sake of the video. Now let's talk about the variety of black chocolate beauty that's in this video. Okay, I'm loving the hair, I'm loving the natural hair, I'm loving everything. Everybody got a different style, just chef's kiss. So now let's get into where these women are from and their careers or their occupations, etc. So first we have Esther, who's 27, from France. She's been in Korea for 5 years. Then we have Paris. Paris. Paris didn't get that man no info. Paris was like, I'm Kenyan American and I work in the entertainment industry. That's it. That's all. Now, if y'all don't know, Paris actually is a YouTuber, and she has a channel. She actually has a series where she interviews people who live in Korea, and who she interviews a lot of people talking about different cultural connections and their experiences in Korea. Y'all should check out her channel. I'm gonna link it in the bio. I'll probably put it somewhere in this video, but I really enjoy her content, so y'all should give her a watch. Now, Paris, girl, I don't know why you didn't get that mad information, but now we gonna see why. She just was like, I'll give you the bare minimum. Then Paris is from America. And then we have I hope I said her name right, Yulsima. She's from the USA, and she works in the skincare industry. She's been in Korea for 5 years. Then we have Mary from Tanzania. She's a student, and she's only been there for 6 months. Hold up, I gotta stop it right here. Now, for those of you who are going to Korea, if you've only been in Korea for a short amount of time, chances are men are not going to take you very seriously. Usually they look for someone who's been there long term, who kind of understands the culture, especially if it's a man who wants to stay in Korea. Majority of Korean men want to stay in Korea, obviously. But, you know, you'll have some of them, like my husband, who don't mind moving abroad and living somewhere else. What I will say is this, that if you've only been in Korea for a short amount of time, I would not recommend you dating right away. Again, I know some people have stories and, you know, they're like, oh, I fell in love with my husband and I only was in Korea for 3 months. But I just find it very hard to adjust to a country and a new relationship at the same time. Give yourself time to at least adjust to the country. 6 months is not a long time to get to know people, get to know the country, adjust yourself. It's not even enough time for the whole, you know, the whole culture shock stages. It ain't even enough time for that. By month 6, it's like you're still in the honeymoon phase of the country. So I just personally think you should live there for a little bit longer, because guess what? What if you do meet someone from Korea, or a Korean man that you are in love with and you want to marry, but he doesn't want to move to your home country, he would rather stay in Korea. And let's say that after 6 months you decide, I don't really like it here. Then what are you going to do, right? Or after a few years, you're like, I really can't stand it here, right? So give yourself time to see if this is a place where you could see yourself. And if you can't see yourself in Korea, make sure that you choose someone who actually wants to move abroad. They asked him if he's from Seoul.
From Seoul? Oh, yeah. I'm from Seoul and I live in Yongsan.
So we found out that he's from Seoul and he lives in Yongsan. And so now this kind of makes sense why he's interested in interracial dating. Yongsan has a large foreign community there, and Itaewon is located in Yongsan as well, so it makes sense. Also, there used to be a big US military base in that area. So, okay, we're starting to find out a little bit about his background, which makes a lot of sense as to why he is interested in, potentially dipping his toes or exploring different options. Now, he said he has a lot of foreigner friends and he's very familiar with them. Mind you, he has said that he had never met a black person before. Now, this is where I'm going to start questioning him, because I'm like, sir, you lived in Itaewon or near Itaewon, which is a large cultural hub. And although there are not as many black people as other races in Korea, there's still a lot of black people, especially in Itaewon. There are a lot of African shops, especially hair shops, a lot of restaurants, a lot of shopping centers. So I'm very surprised that he never encountered a black person while he was in Itaewon. So I'm starting to see like, okay, so you never wanted to make a black friend, or we need more answers, Gido. So now the girls are explaining to him about African cuisine, because he said he ain't never met nobody from Africa before and it's his first time. And that was cute. They gave a little cultural exchange. They told him, hey, we have rice in our cuisine, we eat fried banana, it's plantain basically. And they were like, we eat fried bananas, which is plantain. And he was like, okay, trying to get to know what it is. Then Esther goes into her dating experience and says that she has met with Korean guys and has Korean friends. And then she finds it awkward when she dates Korean men, because it's like, what do we talk about? Now, Esther, I'm going to say this to you again. I know this is a video. I don't know how it was edited, but it just sounded like maybe she's nervous around Korean men. I don't know what it is. But for you guys who are wanting to date Korean men are just like any other men, y'all. Don't be shy. It's just about connecting with people. So I will say that I found that a little, maybe it's just, I wouldn't say strange, but it's just maybe she just has a problem with conversational skills. So I will say that it's not that hard to talk to Korean guys. I don't want you guys to think that. I think that it's very easy. As a matter of fact, it's super easy. Like, you just gotta know how to have good conversation. That's it. That's all. So then Gido goes on to say that he's only ever dated Japanese or Chinese girls. Okay, so now that makes sense. So probably while he was living in Yongsan, he met Chinese international students or Chinese immigrants or permanent residents, or people who live in Korea who are of Chinese descent, and Japanese women, which makes sense. And he said he has never dated a black or a white girl before. So let's see what's gonna happen now, because I don't know. I don't got a good feeling about this. Trudy from the USA, you asked the perfect question. She asked the best question. She said, what made you date these girls? And I thought that was a really, really good question. And he said that it's because of culture. See, I done told y'all, it's culture. It's all about culture. And what he said was that they had a similar culture to him, so it was just easier for him to connect with them versus with someone of a different race. Peep that. Similar culture makes him more comfortable. Now, that's a big, big, big deal right there. These little code words, that's what I'm saying. You can't just pass these things by, especially when you're meeting someone, because those words mean something. It may sound just so subtle, but it has a large meaning. That means that if he doesn't marry a Korean woman, then the woman he dates or marry is going to be Korean adjacent, either physically, or if you're white or black or another race, he wants you to conform yourself as a Korean woman, and he would be way more comfortable that way. So it looks like he doesn't really care about race. He more so cares about the cultural aspect. So can you get down like a Korean woman? Can you do the in-law things that Korean women do? Can you organize and clean your house like a Korean woman? Can you cook like a Korean woman? Can you be a Korean woman? And a lot of men have that mentality now. It's like they're like, F the race. We don't care about that anymore. We care about how well you can assimilate into our culture. Can you make me feel comfortable enough where I feel like if I close my eyes, you are a Korean woman? You learn my language, you learn my culture, my food, my preferences. That's key, y'all. So if you want to go to Korea and you have a dream of dating and marrying a Korean man, again, I'm not saying that you have to turn and transform yourself into a Korean woman. But what I'm trying to say is that listen to what the guy is saying. If the man is saying, hey, I don't care, I want to explore different cultures, I want to move abroad, I want to be different places, I love people from different cultures, and he doesn't mind you being your culture and he appreciates you for your culture and where you come from, then you don't have to worry about this. But for him, he automatically said it makes him feel more comfortable. Therefore, I know for a fact he's going to want his woman to be very Korean-esque. I can almost guarantee that. Trudy asked the magical question. So what if they're not Chinese or Japanese or of Asian descent, but they're fully immersed into Korean culture? Gido's answer was, that would be very nice. Code for, yes, I want that. Listen, you just got to read between the lines. Read between the lines, especially when you're dealing with someone from a collectivist culture such as Gido, who is from Korea. As someone who has lived in Korea for a long time, I'm telling y'all, those 6 years I spent in that country let me know everything that I need to know. Well, I don't know everything. As someone who got to really live and experience Korean culture for 6 years while I was living abroad, I'm going to let y'all know right now, with Korean people, it's never what you hear, it's the context of what you hear. So there's always a hidden meaning behind what they say, because they're not going to directly say it to you. They are very indirect. And it's cultural, right? Because, you have to say it in a way, especially when you're meeting people, to not be too direct. When he said that will be nice, that means that that's what he wants. That's literally what he wants. They finished talking about, why he's only dated Asian girls. And now the next topic of conversation is, what is their ideal type? Now, ladies, do not ever answer that question. If a man asks you that, you're going to be cute, smile a little bit, and just act like you don't have a type. I love how they were like, I want somebody older. I want somebody tall. I want somebody with this, that, and the third. He got a nice voice. Child, none of that matter. None of that matter. Do not let him know anything. Anything. Don't let him know your type. With my husband, I remember when we first started, he would ask me what my type was, and I would just giggle and say, you're my type. And he is my type, actually. He is my type. But I would just giggle and say, you're my type. It's you, it's you, it's you. But I wouldn't tell him exactly what I was looking for, because I wanted to make sure that he actually naturally was that person. And he was. And so eventually he started to realize, like, okay, I am her type, right? But I didn't want to put all the cards on the table, because I didn't want him to know my business. Like, you don't need to know all that, sir. Why are you asking me what my type is? Why don't I need to? I need to know what's happening here. Like, the important questions need to come out. Why are you asking, what's your ideal type? Sir, if we're there, they are there. So they already are open to dating Korean men. That's all you need to know, sir. You don't need to know nobody's type right now, okay? We need to know what... If you gonna fit the criteria of dating somebody of another race. We need to figure out how much work we need to put into this relationship as a black woman, because you obviously want someone Korean adjacent. So that's what I need answers to. I need answers to know how much work we gotta put into this relationship in order for us to be acceptable to you, because it seems like you want someone who is culturally adjacent to you. So that's what we need to figure out. Anyway, let's continue. Another thing is that I noticed that Esther started speaking Korean. All right, that was a good thing that she did, because you can see that when she started speaking Korean, he started to be more comfortable in talking, because English is not his first language. And I think that it's amazing that she spoke Korean to him. And a lot of other ladies that were there also speak fluently in Korean. I think that gives them more points, to be quite honest with you, because then you can really understand the person That's one of my failures, to be honest with y'all. I feel like I didn't learn Korean enough. I just knew enough to get by and maybe a little intermediate, but in hindsight, I really should learn Korean even now. Even though I'm married to my husband, I still need to learn Korean because I noticed that sometimes we'll have like discussions or disagreements, and even though he speaks in English, he may not understand the nuance and context of what I'm saying. And so it would be easier to explain it to him if I spoke in Korean, and that would actually help us diminish so many arguments that we used to have in the past. I feel like we would have decreased a lot of our pain points had I learned Korean like I was supposed to. So that's a tip, y'all. Like, if you really want to immerse yourself in the culture and get you a man from that culture, learn the language of that culture. And then Paris brought up religion. She said that she prefers a man who prays. And there's nothing wrong with that. Then Esther asked the correct question. She said, if you meet a black girl that you're interested in and y'all hit it off, would you date her if she was a Muslim or Christian? And he said, I don't have a religion. Paris said, I'm out. And you know what? That's how it's supposed to be. Listen, she was like, I don't have time to waste. He's not for me. And that's how it should go, y'all. Yo, Paris was like, bye. She was like, peace out. I'm out of here. And I could do nothing but respect that, because yes, like, if that is a deal breaker for you, then you're out. You're out. Don't matter what the guy looks like. So now Mary asked him, what's your ideal type of girl? And he said, I like a girl who goes to the gym. I like a girl who is fit. And then he says, I think I like slender girls. You see, is this I think? That's what I'm telling y'all. That is not I think, I want. That's Korean speak for you gotta be slim girl. I don't like the little chubbies. I don't like the thickness. Thick ain't it for me. If it ain't thin, it ain't gonna work. That's him. It's gotta be slim. Slim, slim, slim. And now, we don't know what his definition of slim is, but of course, you know, black women, we're very shapely, even if we're slender. So we'll see what he thinks. But so far, he's saying that he wants a slender girl. He's not religious, and that he would want, or no, he said he thinks, no, he said, what did he say? I think that will be nice if you could learn my culture. So, like I said, Korean adjacent. I done told y'all, Korean adjacent. That's basically what he's saying right here. All right, now Yolisma done left the chat. She was like, I'm not extroverted, and I don't like what you talking about here, so I'm out. It's so funny how in the beginning, everyone was invested, and slowly everybody's just leaving the conversation. Like, this man is not, he's not giving anything right now. Like, he's just giving problems and headaches. But let's see what else he says, because so far he is not winning. But you know what? Like, this is the thing though. Like, he said that he wants a slim girl. I'm gonna tell y'all, majority of Korean men want slim girls. That's their type. They like the small, slender. Now, are there Korean men who don't date slim women? Obviously, my man over there, he like them thick. Obviously, he's with me. He like thickums. You know, he like a little hips. He like boobs. And these days, Korean men are a little bit more open. They actually like women with muscle. Like he said, gym fit. Like, they want someone who is fit but in shape. I think that's the moral of it, is being in shape. And so you'll find men who want different things, but as a whole, Korean men are more attracted to slimmer girls. All right, so this is the part where I'm gonna have to be harsh, okay? I gotta be harsh here, and I have to be very transparent and honest. Moon asked a perfect question. She said that, hey, like, I'm half Vietnamese and Congolese, and I am mixed, and I want to know, do you want to have children? And also, how will you raise your mixed child in Korea? And so basically what she's saying is that, listen, your child's going to be half black. They might have black features, black hair, black everything, all black everything. Okay? How will you endure this, and how will you teach your kids? Like, what's going to happen if we decide to procreate and we decide to bring forth a child into this culture? And this man said, I will teach them to fight and be strong. Sir, that is not the answer. You're out. You're out. Right then and there, all of them should have walked out. I will teach them to be strong. So endure the bullying, endure the trauma, endure everything, and I'll teach you how to fight. And this is a man who is in a predominantly Korean society, so he's never going to understand what it feels like to be an outsider. And I think that should be taken into consideration, y'all. Because now my husband, because remember, he grew up in a homogenous society. My husband now in Canada, now he understands what it's like to be an other, a minority, a racialized person in another country. And I think that that is something that is very important to discuss. All these questions that these ladies are asking, they're very important. And the reason why I wanted to critique this video and comment on this video is because I feel like these are questions you should all be asking your mate from a different culture, especially if he lives in a homogenous culture such as Korea, because those answers will tell you all you need to know. He's not going to be able to help his child. That's basically what he's saying. I will just teach them to fight. Fight what? They gonna fight what? Bullying is already a problem in Korea, even amongst Koreans. So how you gonna tell your child to fight back in a society where even Korean kids struggle to adapt to? Make that make sense, sir. Again, no hate to Gido. I know this is something that is new to him. Again, I'm not faulting him because that's the country that he comes from. The perspective that he has is definitely a perspective of someone who has never been outside of their four walls. But I'm here to tell y'all that if you are considering marrying or dating a Korean man, that is a very important question to ask, because their answer will tell you everything you need to know. And if they're saying that they're going to tell their kids to fight what? Fight what? Fight bullies all damn day? Like, sir. Anyway, this is a red flag. That's a big red. That's not even a red flag. That's a deal breaker. The religion was a deal breaker, depending on if you're religious or not. And also him saying he wants someone slim, slender. Okay, that might be a deal breaker for some. I get it. But this right here, that's a big deal breaker, especially if you want to have children, biracial children, especially in a country like Korea. Being strong and fighting is not enough. I'm telling you guys, it is not enough. Let's continue. In the next part, Esther asked him, okay, so like I'm from a different country and I have a Congolese background mixed with Haitian and Cuban. And what if I want to wear traditional clothes? How will you take that? Will you accept that? Like, let's say I want to wear traditional clothes to our wedding to highlight my culture. And he said, I can accept that, except if you eat worms. Now, listen. Again, code words. I got to listen to these coded words. Now, it sounds simple enough. Like they were laughing like, we don't eat worms. Of course we don't. That's basically him saying, if it's too uncomfortable for me, I'm not going to accept it. That's what he's saying. Eating worms is the extreme, but basically he's saying if it's something that is uncomfortable, because who eat worms? Like, let's be for real. He's just using that as an analogy for what he really means. The translation of that is that I can accept it if it's not too weird, because eating worms is weird. Now, what's his threshold of weird? We will never know. However, he's saying that if it's too different, I'm not going to like it. I want it to be Korean-esque. I done told y'all in the beginning. He wants a Korean woman. If you're not Korean on the outside, if you don't look Korean, that's okay. He cool with that. He's cool with it. But on the inside, in your behavior, language, I want you to be as Korean as possible because I need to feel comfortable. That's what he's saying. And obviously, they're in his country, in his turf, his territory, so he gets to call the shots. That's practically what it is, y'all. I'm just being honest. Listen, I told y'all in 2025, I'm going to be as honest as possible. I'm not mincing my words because I think that a lot of us are delusional. And I listen, I say us as a whole because we're all in this together. A lot of us don't know what to expect. And, you know, we need to be aware of that. And don't just go with your blinders on thinking that everything's going to work out. No, you need to work at it and make sure that this person is the person that you can work with and not someone who wants you to conform. Like, again, if you don't mind conforming, that's okay. Because I know a lot of women who have conformed to Korean culture and they're very happy and they live very content lives and they love living with their husbands and they're in Korea right now living their best lives. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're a person who holds your culture dear to you and you actually love your culture and you want your man to appreciate your culture, he's not the one for you. His type of man, this type of man ain't the one for you. Look, don't look no further. This ain't the one. He ain't the one. He's not going to assimilate to your culture. And he could very well, basically, he's very well telling them in little words that he wants them to be as Korean as possible. All right, so now Mary revisits the conversation again and she's like, hey, you know, Esther says she's from Congo and she's a religious person, and you know, we're just trying to figure out, like, if she likes to go to church, do you ever see yourself going to church with her? This man, and I appreciate the honesty, so I'm not going to get on him with that. He basically said, I think I'm not that religious person. Again, we've already established that I think means I'm not. Okay? I think it's just a nicer, gentler way of telling you that I ain't with it. Okay? I'm not with it. So he's basically saying, look, I'm not religious, so stop pressing me about this. I'm going to give Gido his points for the next question. So Trudy asked him if he were to date a black woman, how would he react to those outside judgment of Korean people, especially the elders and people who might not agree with his relationship? And he answered it very well. He said, look, like, I don't care what they think. Like, that's just outside judgment. It's all about confidence. And why do we need to hide? And the more confident you are, the more people will lay off. And I agree with that. And I think that he answered that perfectly. So I'll give him his points there. Oh, nah. Revoke the points. Revoke Gido's points. So Trudy asked him a very valid question. I think this is one of the most, I think all the questions they asked, they were important. But this one right here, this already lets you know everything. She asked him, how would your parents feel if you bought a melanated black person, a chocolatey black goddess to your house? What would your parents think? And not only what would they think, how would you react to your parents? Like, are you going to fight for her or what? What you going to do? What are you going to square up to your parents? Are you going to stand up for her? And he said, oh, this is too hard to answer. Sir, we've lost the plot. It's over. Goodbye. Pack it up. Pack it up. Pack it up. It's done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap right here. We already know what he's going to say. It's going to be some nonsense. It's going to be some BS wrapped in garbage, wrapped in more garbage, and wrapped in the dirtiest garbage ever. It's just trash. Throw everything in the trash, whatever he about to say, because that when he said it's too hard to answer, we already know mama and daddy, they hold the power. So you see, that's what I'm saying. Like, see how he puffed up his chest? He puffed it up. Well, outside people won't be confident. Yeah, that's my girl. But then when he's in front of his parents, he gonna be a little, I'm scared. He talking about his mama will be shocked. Chill. That already lets me know everything, y'all. His mama gonna be shocked, y'all. He didn't just say, oh, my mom might think this, but he said shocked. His mama gonna be like Albert Einstein with that shocked look. This is what I tell you. This is not funny, but like, what are we doing here? Like, seriously, what are we doing, y'all? Like, what's happening here? I don't even know, y'all. But anyway, let's continue this. This is the best. So he finally answered, because shout out to you, Mary from Tanzania. She was like, it's good to be honest. Yes, because she like, I need to know what's going on. What's your answer, sir? Speak up. Oh, don't get shy now. You were really bad and bold at the beginning of this conversation. You were all about it. Talking about, I want my, I ain't never tried white and black girl. I only tried Japanese and Chinese, I want to taste a little different flavor in my palate. I don't like to use food, by the way. That is a very fetishy. But anywho, I want to try something different, something new. Something brand new. And now when it gets to the parents, I said I'm bold, but I'm not that bold. Oh, okay. Now we really see what's up. What's up, sir? Talking about,
like, I think I will.
Oh, so he said, if my parents don't like you, I think I will. That's the, y'all, hold on. Let me do the hand gesture. 1 second. I think I will. I think you got to go. That's what he's saying. He pushing you out the damn door. That's what he's saying. He's like, oh, you're no longer welcome. I'm going to push you out the door. I think I will. That means I'm going to reject you. Chill, this man, Gido, you done wasted these women. How many minutes is it? 16 minutes. He done wasted, he wasted their time and my time. I need to reclaim my time.
No, thank you, guys.
Okay, Mary said, bye, I'm out. She was like, listen, there were a lot of red flags, but this one right here, this is done. Like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Now, this is the shocking part for me. Why are those 3 girls still there? Trudy, Moon, and Esther. Ladies, what is it going to take for you to walk out? Please tell me y'all all walk out at the end of it. Please. Because I just can't see anything past this. But let's see. Let's see if it gets worse or not. Because right now we still have, hold on, we had 12 minutes and there's still 16. There's 16 minutes total. So what happened within these last few minutes? I need to hear this conversation because I can't see it going uphill. It's just going downhill. Now, this is the funny part, y'all. I'm going to have y'all watch it. When she's like, so is this why, Trudy was saying, is this why you've only dated Japanese and Chinese girl? Because of your parents' approval? You should have seen that head. Now, the eyes said it all. He was like, he said, yes, you're right. That is why. Sir, again, Gido, why are you here? Why are you here? I'm telling you, I think they got paid to do this. I can't see that he would actually waste his time and their time too, knowing dang on well his parents ain't gonna be with it. So that lets me know that either they paid him to be on there or he's just looking for a good time, not a long time. And depending on his parents' reaction, so if his parents met the girl and was like, hey, she's Korean enough, that'll do. Because we want you to be married. She looks like she's beautiful and she could adapt to Korean culture. That'll do for us. That'll be enough. Then he'll be with it. But if his parents say, oh, hell no, we don't want her. Who is this? You brought a black girl home? Nah. It ain't gonna work. I'm telling y'all, listen, this is insanity here. Like, this man is not ready to interracially date. So, again, I pose the question, what do y'all think his reason to go on this show was? Let's say, was it because it was just for publicity or just for clout, or he was paid to do this? Or I think for me, I'm going to go lean more on the he wants to experience black women without committing. That's my answer to this. Because everything he said was enough for me to know that he's not really for real. He ain't for real, for real. He want to be down, but he ain't down. He ain't down with the brown. He ain't down with the brown. All right, so now Gido follows up and says, because Trudy's trying to make sense. She's trying to make it make sense. And his sense is not mathing up. And so now he's like, oh, my parents are not the issue. You know, I have a lot of chances. So I'm like, okay, my parents are not the issue. But you just said a few moments ago that if my parents don't like, so which one is it? Which one is it? Nah, he's just trying not to get left at this point because he's like, okay, I gotta backtrack and see what, gotta say something that'll appease them. So now after that, he follows up and says, so do you have any other concerns? You done said it all, sir. You said enough. I don't think there's any more concerns because everything about this whole experience has been concerning to me. So I don't think that you should have even asked that question. And I don't know why these three beautiful young women are still sitting there, but let's see what happens. Esther is projecting a little bit, just a little bit. So she says she has concerns about dating a Korean man because she says that Korean guys are not going to fight for their loves, and that even though she understands Korean culture and she's tried to immerse herself into society, she just doesn't see that Korean men will fight for her. And I'll say it's case by case, to be quite honest with you. It really depends on the person. So I can't put a blanket umbrella and say they're weak. I don't think that majority of Korean guys are weak per se. I think what it is that it really depends on how much influence his parents has in his life. If your man is self-made and he does everything on his own and his parents have minimal influence in his life, meaning i.e. financial implications. So this is where it gets really important. Do his parents financially support him? Have they financially supported him in the past? And how much do they owe him? Or how much does he owe them? That's very important to know. So like if you have a man whose parents paid for his schooling, his parents have paid for his housing, his parents are very much involved financially, then yes, he's not going to fight for you. It's all economic, y'all. It's all economic. Usually the ones who don't fight have a lot of family ties, and their family's opinion is important because their family control the finances. So you got to think about it. If he ends up with you, he's going to lose all of his livelihood. Most likely. A lot of Korean parents are involved financially. They pay for their kids to go to school. They pay for their education. They pay for their housing. They help support them up into adulthood and more. There's even Korean parents buying their kids cars, houses.
We got support, financial support when we get married. Mm-hmm. That's why we cannot reject our parents' opinion a lot. That can be one of the reasons why, so we have a disconnect culture because we need a house and then young people cannot afford to do it.
And their names on houses for them. So financially, he would be ruined, and he's got to think about it economically. Like, what does it make sense for me to be with this woman? One, who's a foreigner from another country who we may not even last long. Let's be clear. Two, what if she doesn't want to adapt to Korean culture and I'm doing all this fighting for nothing? Those are real valid points. And I could get it from that perspective. So now you got to figure out the man, is your boo, is he booed up with his parents? Are his parents his lover? Because you got to think about it. His financial sugar mama and sugar daddy. Okay? So that's where it's at right there, is the financial ties, and that's what scares them more than anything. I don't think it's more than, oh, my mom doesn't accept me, my dad doesn't accept it. If they're not financially tied to their parents, I would say this, the less financially tied they are to their parents, the more it'll be easier for them to fight back. Again, we're just beating a dead horse at this point. They ask him again, if you have a girl and you're really in love with her, that's Esther that asked that question, and you really love her and your parents say no, what you gonna do? And he said, at first I will fight. I'll talk deeply to them. But then if they don't understand, then it's gonna be bye-bye. Bye bye love. Bye 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 bye. He's already telling y'all he's not. Listen, his best bet, in my opinion, is to get with somebody who's adjacent. I don't even know if he could get with someone who's adjacent to Korean, to be honest with you, because it seems like he's very, very culturally tied to Korea. However, I would say if he gets himself a woman, he needs to get himself a Korean adjacent woman physically, and also someone who can culturally assimilate to Korean culture, because I just don't see it working with him with especially with a black woman. I just don't see that. Because then when he meets, you see, this is what people don't think about. Because right now, he's just thinking of her as an individual, right? Like, okay, like, you know, she's black. I'm going to get to know her, blah, blah, blah. But then remember, she got a whole black family. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all saw the, I'm going to segue a little bit. Did you guys see when Zendaya introduced Tom Holland? I think that's her fiance's name, to her family in Oakland.
That's legendary. Rockstar, I love you. It might have been Rockstar, but I don't know if it's I love you because I don't know sign language. Spidey senses. Auntie.
That was a very black experience. So as you can see, Zendaya's family is a blackity black. And chances are those women, those beautiful black melanated women that he's sitting with, their families are black. Especially those with cultural ties to like Caribbean countries, and you know, even I would say even African American, doesn't matter. Like, they're all black. So this woman has a whole black family, and that black family is going to have to meet his Korean family, and I don't think he's considering that at all. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. All right, Moon's out the chat. Moon said, okay, at this point I'm out. And he said, I don't like fighting, I like peace. Sir, why are you here? Again, Gido, why are you here? Please let the world know. I'm telling y'all, he was paid, or this was just an experience for him to see who he could get. Because this does not make sense at all. At all. So now Moon's gone. All right, let's see what else transpires after, because I'm tired. It's 14 minutes. Okay, we got a few minutes left of this, and then I'm out, because this is crazy. That's right, Moon. She said, I need somebody who could die for me. Somebody gonna be there for me, who gonna stick up for me, who gonna protect me. Yes, girl, that's right. He's not a fighter. He's weak against his parents. Please, trying to puff up his chest. Boy, wasting time. Wasting my time, too. It's such a waste of time. But anyways, Trudy and Esther, why y'all still here? I need answers. Did they pay you? Blink twice. Because why are you still here? Why are there two women still sitting in front of this man? He's sitting here smiling and giggling. Sir. Okay, so they're asking him more questions. So Esther asked him, look, like, you know, sometimes the paperwork don't be paperworking. What if your girl, her 90-day fiance visa was up and she couldn't stay in Korea and she had to go back to her country? You gonna follow her or what? This man talking about, I got a job here. So is you or is you ain't? Like, what are we doing here? This is so pointless. Like, literally. Like, he's not interested. He's not interested in a cultural exchange for real. He just trying to find somebody, like I said, Korean adjacent. He's looking for a wife. Okay, that's very clear. It's very clear to me that he's looking for a wife. That I will not dispute. At some point, he's looking for a mate. Now, I'm not sure if him being on this show was to look for a mate or to look for something to stick his little wee-wee in. However, what I will say is that he is interested in marriage with a Korean adjacent woman. That is it. That is all. That's it. That's all. At this point, the name of the game is Korean adjacent. Let's say it together. Korean adjacent. So he ain't with it. He ain't with it. Talking about, I got a job here. I'm not gonna support my girl in her visa troubles. If she gotta go back to her country, bye, girl. That's all that is. Because I'm staying right here in Korea. And you just gonna stay here with me or what? I'm here forever. I'm not moving nowhere. I'm staying put. So that's what he, and you know what? I'm gonna bring something up right now. And again, I don't know his intention. So this is just me speculating, y'all. This is allegedly speculating, okay? I don't want nobody coming and doxing me for this or whatever. But it could also be that he just wants to experience a foreign girl, a last hurrah, like before he really settles down with a Korean girl. Listen, that happens too. That does happen quite a lot because they just want to sow their little oats and then, you know, get that little exploration out the way and then go be with the girl that is really befitting of them. Now, again, not every guy does this, but he is basically saying that he's in more words than not, his family's not going to accept it. He's not leaving Korea. He also said that he's not going to fight for you. And he going to tell his kids to fight and be strong if he does have multiracial kids, which he will not. Please do not procreate with that attitude. He needs to change it. Then he also said that I think I want you to adapt to my cultures. All of the signs point to that. Okay, he wants Korean adjacent. Korean adjacent. Right now, Esther left the chat and she's like, look, this was enough for me. Now, my last question is, Trudy, why are you here? You and Esther should have rolled out together. Get your roll on. Y'all should have got y'all roll on. Why are you still here? We're going to see what the last minute is. This is very ridiculous at this point. He done told us everything he needs. He said everything. Everything. Trudy, no. Sorry. My sister, my beautiful sister. I have to let you know, no. She said, I love Korea and I'm willing to sacrifice. I can sacrifice for love. No, sis, no, this ain't it. Not with him. If y'all gonna be sacrificing, and that's the message of this video. If y'all gonna be sacrificing, sacrifice with somebody who's really about it. Like, this man has shown that he's not about it. He's not about anything right now, like, that's serious with you or with the other women, especially with black women. Concerning his family, he's just there for a good time. Listen, sis, nah. Anyway, at the end, Trudy disappears and he's left alone as he should have been in the beginning. Listen, y'all, that's it. That's all. My mic's about to die, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up. Let me know if you enjoyed this video and this commentary. I can do more. I have a dating series coming up. The next video is going to be about online dating and algorithm, and also the inequalities of online dating. We're going to talk about that in the next video. Definitely let me know in the comments. And until next time, love y'all the long way. Thank you for watching and bye.